Alright guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So LR Big Daddy Jiren is in game now. Now, looking at the way Jiren is designed, it is very clear. What I did this time was, you know, the summons and the new hard fights dropped at the same time. I decided to do the new hard fights first. And after experiencing the Goku and Frieza fight, which I certainly think is the hardest fight in the game, Jiren, his strengths are 100% designed for the fight. This is something we've seen time and time again, where Dokkan will drop kind of like a new hard fight or a really tough fight, and the kind of like some of the main characters of the celebration are designed for the fight. Tech UI Goku, certainly does work well in the new fight as well. Of course, this initial video is going to be 55%. 55% Link Level 1, our first time using the character. We can go ahead and jump in and see how effective Jiren is going to be. Now, Jiren, I think even at 55% defensively, he should be a very effective character. I don't know about offensively. Even Rainbowed, I think a lot of the times Jiren's damage is not going to be as significant as people are going to think. But Jiren does one monster hit rather than several hits. He's designed for the new Goku and Frieza fight. That the reason he doesn't have a million, billion, trillion additionals is because against Goku and Frieza, you need to hit them with a big damage and crit, not really just doing a bunch of additional attacks. We definitely need to take Broly into the new fight as well to see how he fares, because I think Broly could potentially be really good for the fight. So as you guys can see, we need a lot of medals in order to awaken our homeboy Jiren to LR. So let's go ahead and do this. Wabam, wabam, wabam. A lot of Dokkan event grinding to get those medals to awaken these LRs. Let's go ahead and jump in to a fight with our boy Jiren, 55%. We'll see how effective he's going to perform. We need to go into a longer fight because Jiren does essentially transform multiple times. His art, oh my god, is very good. What the hell? Like, just like the effects and stuff does look very cool. Okay, sure. Okay, so let me level him up. We'll jump into some fight. I don't know what fight it is, but again, Jiren, I mean, he's going to need to take several transformations here, so I need to make sure it's a fight that has a lot of phases in it. Alright guys, we are here in an event. We have our boy LR Jiren. Look at this dude. Even this Buhan red zone stage, we're taking massive damage in here. This is crazy. Alright, so, LR Jiren. I think that this guy is going to be a very good character. Just kind of like point blank, flat out. Jiren is going to be very, very good. I don't know exactly how good. I mean, I'd like to get like a good use out of the character for quite a bit first. But I certainly do think that Jiren is going to end up being, a very impressive character overall. So if we take a look at this, one thing that I think will hold Jiren back quite from being, on Beast Gohan's level 1 or 2 or something like that. Here's the thing with it. Jiren, okay, most of the time we're gonna want him in slot 2. So Jiren gets 50% damage reduction at the start of turn, right? Then if he's in slot 2 or 3, he gets an extra 100% attack, he gets a 70% chance to crit, and an extra 11% damage reduction. So that would take Jiren turn 1 up to 61% damage reduction. If you guys take a look at Jiren's defense right there, the damage reduction he has is pointless when we get up to the big fights. Jiren is a Carnival LR. We're not thinking of Jiren in terms of, well, he's very good against quest mode bosses, and he's good against the super low level super low level, like, attacks or whatever. Hold on. My point is that we're not gonna, like, define Jiren by weaker level bosses. Like Carnival LRs, Dokkan Fest LRs. This is the highest classic character. We're thinking about him against that Goku and Frieza fight. We're thinking about him against the Evolution Blue Vegeta and Blue Kaioken Goku fight. We're thinking about him versus Cell Max, right? The toughest fights in the game. I think, in my opinion, that's kind of the trio of toughest fights to handle. Maybe the other UI Goku fight comes in around there. The Gogeta Blue fight, I think the Trunks fight, Kid Buu, something like that. I mean, Kid Buu at this point is like the 6th hardest fight or something. I don't know. So Jiren, as good as he's going to be very dominant in slot 2 or 3, which does have a lot of value and does have a lot of meaning. But at the end of the day, being a slot 1 is just simply what is the very most important thing. And Jiren, most of the time, will not be able to accomplish that role in base form and in his, you know, essentially kind of like third transformation state. So we have Jiren's base form, we have his standby. Now his standby, he is slot 1. He has support in slot 2, but I don't know. I mean, it'll depend on the situation. But, I mean, I just don't know why you wouldn't put a character with 100% damage reduction in slot 1, right? But, I mean, well, it would depend upon situations for sure. Now, unlike because Jiren is actually structured very similar to LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but the thing is, Jiren is not going to age out within 2 seconds like Super Saiyan 4 Goku did, because Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I've said it since for months and months and months, the problem with Super Saiyan 4 Goku is that he needs to be run in slot 1. That's the problem. You can't run a shitty character like Super Saiyan 4 Goku in slot 1. Jiren most of the time wants to be run in slot 2 or 3, which will allow him to age better, but he has a very similar structure to LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. But in his standby state right here, Jiren is actually, we can stay in his standby with his ridiculous impenetrable defense for multiple turns. Oob only has 1 turn of great defense. Jiren does not. So, I mean, it depends on the fight, but we could stick around with Jiren in a standby if need be. And then, of course, in his final phase right here, he does kind of fall back again into that slot 2 type of role. So, okay, I've blabbered away a lot. Let's just go ahead and go just like this. And let's see how Jiren's going to do. By the way, notice Jiren's ki definitely looking quite good right there. It's a very, you know, good LRs don't struggle for ki. Flat out. And Jiren looks like he's going to fall into that. So Jiren's link set here, let's go ahead and take a look. So he has Supreme Warrior, Shocking Speed, Infighter, Godly Power, Tournament of Power, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. Now, when we go into his secondary standby phase, in that phase, he is actually going to have Cold Judgment as a link, right? He does change 1 link, but for now, that's what it's looking like. All right, let's just get same type orbs so we can go ahead and get more HP back. We're going to be taking a lot of damage in this fight just off of the base of how the Buu fight is going to work. But Toppo plus Jiren should be rather effective as kind of like a combo. You know, Toppo most of the time is good enough to run in slot 1. 14 million damage by 55% Jiren right away. We have a 70% chance to crit as well. For Jiren's first turn only, he does have an attack break, but that's only on his first appearance. Now, his standby condition is not the worst. We can go into a standby. The way it just simply is always going to be Jiren's second turn, no matter what, right? It's third turn from his first, you know, appearance. So you don't want to float Jiren off. Keep him on rotation, and then on the following turn, we will be able to actually transform with him, right? Okay. So, we definitely do not want to float UI Goku off right here. You know, we'll be able to go into our domain and stuff like that for UI Goku. Well, we could save the domain to buff Jiren. Jiren, by the way, will get supercharged by the domain because Jiren is a superclass character and Jiren is also a Realm of Gods character, right? So he does have that. Yeah, let's just do this. We'll have UI Goku go in slot 1. My Jiren can go ahead and pick up right here in slot 2. Now, on this rotation, we don't have the support. Remember, last turn we had Toppo support. On this rotation, we're not going to have that. So let's go ahead and hit this right here. All right, let's see how we're going to do. See the damage from Jiren. Now, Jiren, his super attack effects, he gets 50% attack and defense on his 18 ki. Also has a high chance to stun, pretty useful. Super Battle Road, or maybe like Cell Max or something like that. Then on his 12 ki, he has 30% attack and defense. Now, in terms of Jiren's build, I mean, I was thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to prioritize raw defense just to ensure he's impenetrable in base in slot 2 and, you know, in full power in slot 2. I just want to maximize that. And then, I mean, we could either go dodge or we could go additional. I mean, people, of course, I mean, their brains are only about how much damage you could do. The only thing, though, with Jiren as a character who only has, he has no additionals built in. So it's like, even with a full additional build, we're not going to see it as consistently as a character that has additionals, even if they had lower additional in the potential system. And then it's still a 50-50 that you're even going to get the whatchamacallit, right? Like, it's going to be a 50-50 shot on if we're actually even able to get the hidden potential system additional attack. Attack equips, I mean, I don't... for the Goku and Frieza fight, sure, where, you know, they nullify damage under 10 million, but, like, Jiren's not going to need that. I don't know that I like attack equips on this guy. It certainly will help. I feel like raw defense like, to me, I feel like you would prioritize raw defense 1, dodge 2, additional 3, then raw attack 4. And then crits, I mean, just don't be ridiculous and give him crits. Okay. So, right here, I guess if we're going to pair him up with Toppo, of course, we will run him in slot 2. So, when we transform into a standby right here, he basically becomes impervious to damage, right? You know, depending on us getting orbs and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and transform with Jiren. No reason to transform with Toppo or do anything like that. We could just go ahead and transform with Jiren right here. So, let's go.
あとは任せる。俺が出るような強者はもはやいない。
All right, so Jiren at this point, he's, you know, he kind of just like turns his back and he's in this standby mode. Now, Jiren, I do really like this. So Jiren can't attack. I don't mind characters that can't attack as long as they are dominant defensively, which this guy is. The reason I'm not a fan of Pajamas Beerus is Pajamas Beerus doesn't attack, but he also is not even good defensively. He sucks ass defensively. He's horrible, right? It's just hidden potential system dodge or die. He's shit, right? Jiren, the way he works, so he gets 350% defense, right, at the start of turn. He gives all allies 3 ki, 50% damage reduction base, and then he gets 11% damage reduction per ki sphere obtained. So with 5 ki spheres, he has 100% damage reduction. He can't be hurt. Literally cannot be hurt ever. And then he gets 100% defense when receiving an attack for some reason. I guess if orbs are really bad. And then he changes one type of ki sphere that's non-AGL to AGL. And he will give all allies 70% attack if he gets ki spheres in slot 2 or 3. Now, again, it's going to be fight specific. It's going to depend. 5 orbs right there. Bam. So he has 100% damage reduction. And, again, he's giving 70% 70% attack support. Is it for 1 turn or for 2 turns? The 70% attack support is for 2 turns. It is 2 turn 70% attack support. So it's not only going to hit this rotation, but it's going to hit our next rotation as well. All right, pretty good rotation. We do have to get a lot of orbs in order to transform into full power. So we can awaken into full power if we get over 25 charges. And then we are in base. We'll just go back to base if we get 24 charges. Yeah, see, again, we ran Jiren in slot 2, and as a consequence, we saw, I mean, Toppo ate it fine, but we saw Toppo actually take damage, right? That's no good. We're actually taking a ton of damage in here. It's because I mean, I guess I'm not really trying to kill the boss super fast. I mean, damn, look at Buhan damaging us just so much just with that start of turn damage that he does. Yeah. I actually would like UI Goku to get caught for us. Should we... Are we going to get to 25 right here? I think we will, right? I guess I'm going to transform into Mastered Tech UI. Right here. Yeah, let's do it. And then, I mean, we probably will finish Buhan right here. But we do need to just make sure we get to that 25 charge count. And as long as we get up to 25, again, Jiren is going to go into the form that we want to see from him. Let's go and transform right here with UI Goatku. All right, so here we go right here. Let's go ahead and see how we're going to do this. All right, so we'll just go ahead and do this. This will be a decent turn because we are going to be able to see JIREN, base JIREN, kind of just in slot 2 here. If I hit this, that will open up the int orbs, which will allow Mastered UI Goku to get that. Yeah, so, I mean, it does seem pretty easy to go ahead and grab all of the orbs we need in order to get us that 25 charges. And of course, JIREN, I mean, as you guys can see, JIREN does link very well with UI Gokus. All right, so let's go ahead and hit this right there. Bam. So we are up to those charges. We have the, again, I mean, it says 25 charges is all we need, even though it's up to 30 right there. I don't know. I mean, if our charges keep going up past it, I don't know that it does anything. But, like, all we need is 25 in order to actually be able to swap with JIREN. JIREN's standby, by the way, does last for 5 turns, his standby. So he'll be in that mode for quite a while. Again, we could do 2 rotation. We could just leave him there. 100% defense for 2 rotation if we want. He is built very good because his first turn in full power, he has a scouter. So it's like we could go into the standby as soon as we want. Base JIREN doesn't lose anything by staying in base. Like here's the thing. LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku sucks, right? And I mean, people will get salty, but he's the comparison to make because JIREN and LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku are the exact same type. They're the same type of character. Oh yeah, we dodged because of Tech UI Goku's ability. I was like, why did we dodge there? Because Tech UI Goku gives the dodge chance. We just saw that, right? Because obviously my JIREN is 55%, so we don't have anything else given to him. But base JIREN will still be strong, still be effective, even without transforming, whereas LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a complete fish. Again, they have the same structure, same design pretty much. So, I mean, that is a reference to make. I mean, again, people are very sensitive about that Super Saiyan 4 Goku, but I'm going to call it like it is, kids. I'm not scared. You can get as mad as you want to. I'm going to tell you the facts, all right? You can get upset if you want to, but I'm telling you how it is. Locking Dispo in slot 1. This could be bad. We actually could get killed right here by Dispo, for sure. Yeah, we are not looking to be in a very good spot right here. If I don't transform into God Topo, we could be looking to be in issues as well. Yeah, we easily could die right here. I'm going to just leave... I mean, full power JIREN. I guess the thing is, with JIREN, we are going to see where the super attack is. There's no reason not to transform with JIREN. I'd like to leave Topo in base so that Topo he gives support in base. Let's go ahead and just transform with JIREN. Let's get into the full power mode. You know, if I was able to get JIREN into turn 1, I mean, I guess here's the thing. We could go into full power JIREN, see where the super attack is, and then reset the app. We always do have that cape. That is going to be a useful strategy with this JIREN, right? So, all right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's transform into full power right here. All right, JIREN is transformed. We got him out here. So super attack is right there. I think we should be a-okay right here to leave Dispo in slot 1. Hopefully Dispo doesn't get crushed. He should be okay. I don't think Boo-Tanks' normals are going to be enough to really punish us for running Topo in slot 3, so I can leave Topo in base. All right, so here we're going to see JIREN, full power JIREN. Now, I mean, as you guys can see, we do have that scouter there from full power JIREN. His stats are looking pretty good. I mean, super attack effects, he's getting 100% attack and defense in his 18 key super, right? It is 100%. No, I actually think it might be, yeah, it's 100% attack and 30% defense is what he gets right there. And he has guaranteed stun on the 18 key. I guess that would be, it's not the guaranteed stun on his 18 key right here. The earliest you could get full power JIREN out is turn 5 if you'd get JIREN on turn 1. So you can have full power JIREN out on turn 5. there's not really a ton of bosses. Stunning them on turn 5 is going to make any type of deal whatsoever. I suppose Salmax, but I don't even know if Salmax will be alive long enough, as dominant as that fight is, for you to take advantage. Like, this stun doesn't really do very much. And then on his 12 key, he gets 50% attack, 30% defense right there. Jiren is getting 11 key, 400% attack and defense, 60% damage reduction. He gets guaranteed Scouter and 11% damage reduction for his first turn. 111% attack and defense when attacking, crazy. 70% chance to crit. Another 11% chance to crit with each super attack performed. He gets 50% attack, guaranteed to hit, guaranteed crits at 24 key. And then every time Jiren is hit with a super, he does get an extra permanent 50% to damage. So as Jiren continually gets hit with supers, his strength is going to go up and up and up. Dispo, I need you to dodge that, man. I know Dispo gets most of his, like, okay. All right, just as long as Dispo dodges the super attack, we're going to be A-okay. The locking, of course, being a little bit annoying for us. Jiren might just kill Boo, huh? I mean, Jiren's going to do huge, even 55% Jiren here is going to do massive damage. Remember, when we get to the next rotation, we'll be able to go into the standby with my Jiren, and we'll be able to get that multiple turn support. Dispo looking good right here. Yeah, Dispo, nice. Dispo is a very good character, remember. Dispo is really good. They had to make Dispo good for the Goku and Frieza fight. Universe 11 mission, ridiculous. Alright, I mean, just as long as Dispo dodges the super by Boo, we're fine here. Okay, good. Alright, Jiren, what do you got for us, Daddy? Jiren drops 27 million. Again, remember, that damage is going to go up as he would potentially eat super attacks. This is a guaranteed crit at 24 keys, so he just has huge damage. We do get the Hidden Potential System additional super pretty good. You know, because remember, this is a guaranteed crit as well. So the damage is going to be looking pretty good. Nice, nice, nice. Pretty good right there. The Hidden Potential System additional really helped. Nice, nice. Okay, so now we get to this turn. No longer does this kid have any locking capabilities. We continue to take a lot of damage. Dude, that damage we're consistently taking. So let's do this. Let's transform right there. All right, so now we have Standby Jiren out with his huge damage reduction. I'm tempted to put him in slot 1 right here, although we're not going to be able to get up to the 100% damage reduction. We'll just go with Tech UI in slot 1. Let's hit that. I want to get same type orbs as much as possible to heal up right here. That's going to be very big for us. And then let's hit this with the Topo and Pride Troopers. I'm not really... We already have a full power Jiren out, so it's not like, oh my god, at all costs we must transform or anything like that. Yeah, Jiren. I'm going to want to use Jiren a lot more. I do really like what he's got going on. You know, it is a shame he can't go slot 1 most of the time. But, like, Jiren is going to be very good. Yeah, it's like, would I put Jiren above, like, Evolution Blue Vegeta? Like, I think I would. Because, like, I mean, he's similar to, I guess, the thing is, Evolution Blue Vegeta does have that revive, but, like, bro, like, I never get his revive. It never happens. Oh, by the way, Jiren is massively buffing UI Goku right now, by the way. That support, yeah, as you guys could tell, Jiren was massively buffing UI Goku's damage right there. All right, so now we have full power Jiren out, huh? I guess we could just rock him in slot 1 right here. He is going to work better next to Mastered UI. I mean, it is sick to see, right, how well he works. Oh, we could do that. Yeah, I guess. Let's do this. I mean, look at how we are in terms of links. It's just Supreme Warrior. This is just like him and Hit and Dokkan Fest Topo. Yeah, those are the characters that will actually kind of get Supreme Warrior right there. All right. Well, let's hit this right here. UI Goku, I mean, I hope he doesn't get hit, but if he does get hit, we're just going to, whatchamacallit. We're not going to be able to go into full power Jiren on the next turn. Oh, I'm not going to get that Dokkan attack. No way. UI Goku, please. We could, I do want to get the animation in the video of the kind of like the failed standby. Because, I mean, it does, I kind of hate that they put the effort in. I wish that there wouldn't be a failed standby because you never see it. There's almost no value in ever using it. So I feel like they waste time creating this animation you'll never see. I actually don't like it. I wish they would just lock you out. Like, you can only transform if you get the 30 charges. There is no failed transformation. I think it would be better if it was like that. 27 million he gets up to. Again, remember, he does get permanent damage as he gets super attacked. I think we definitely need to see a little bit more from Jiren there, and then we get that sick-ass KO screen right there. We do need to see the failed standby. Like, there's still some things I want to do. Jiren seems very good. I mean, at best case scenario, I mean, he is kind of like Evolution Blue Vegeta, but stronger. I mean, I don't know. Is that true? Because the thing is, Evolution Blue Vegeta will triple super. Jiren at his best can double super, but without a guaranteed built-in additional the way Vegeta has, Jiren is not going to be doing it nearly as much. I do need to respect Vegeta's revive, even though I never get it. The hardest fight in the game, you'll definitely be able to get Vegeta's revive because it's a 4-phase fight, but Jiren is designed for the fight as well. Yeah, I don't know. Jiren is like on Vegeta level. I feel like I probably do need to give it to Vegeta, though, because of the revive. The revive is just too good. Like, Jiren is not... I mean, I guess he does have a scouter at the end, but Jiren is not directly taking his hands and wrapping it around another character the way Vegeta can. All right, let's just jump into another fight. All right, guys, so we are here in a second fight. This time we're going into the first Supreme Magnificent Battle UI Goku fight. Maybe let's just try Jiren in slot 1 right here and just see how we do. This Goku is not really anything substantial. Like, this blue Goku right here is nothing substantial, but we could sort of see how Jiren is going to work right here. What I'm going to do is I do want to get the failed, 9.6 right there. Okay. I do want to get the, whatchamacallit, failed transformation with Jiren in here. I definitely do want to get that. Kind of like get that animation in. Besides that, I feel like we've pretty much seen the structure of the character, how Jiren performs. Again, somewhere, I feel like I kind of, like, so, like, when I do the LR tier list, right, I kind of had, like, Beast and Cell Max and their own tier alone. I probably would still leave it like that, but, I mean, you know, now that there is a new fight, there's 2 really difficult fights, I would certainly have to kind of, like, test out and see how, you know, some of these characters do against this fight. But, I mean, I do still think, like, Jiren would slot in somewhere alongside AGL UI Goku in Evolution Blue Vegeta, and what's his name? Like that, I think, is kind of like the way I would put, these characters. Like Jiren feels like he's in range with a lot of those other, like, Tournament of Power level characters. What's funny is if I did that, I probably would, especially with the way the new fight is, because I do need to factor in that Goku and Frieza fight. Like, that's the first and foremost fight to think of, I think. Like, you know, other fights do matter too, but the Goku and Frieza fight matters the most. So, you know, like, Broly's stocks are up. AGL UI Goku stocks are up. Blue Gogeta, the 9th anniversary Part 1 LRs, their stocks go up with the Goku and Frieza fight being the hardest fight in the game. Because even though there is dodge canceling in there, I do think that Gogeta will be okay. You know, in that dodge canceling phase. Not in slot 1, but in slot 2 or 3, I do think he'll be okay. You know, against normals. If they super him, yeah, you're dead. But, I mean, against normals, he should be okay. Alright, so we go into the standby. Again, I want to intentionally not get the super crazy one. So, let's just do this. Now, remember, I mean, actually, maybe I should have put Jiren in slot 1. We might need to go into an Immortal Boss, actually. I feel like chances are super good we could just kill UI Goku right here. Dispo does a lot of damage, potentially. I think we could potentially just kill this UI Goku, and then we go into the next turn, and then we just kill him, you know, that Goku in one phase. Very possible. But again, I do want to see Jiren's failed transformation. Alright, Topo and Pride Troopers, I mean, that's a high amount of damage they took. I mean, Topo and Pride Troopers, they're an effective character when it comes to tanking normals, but obviously against really big boss super attacks, they are not going to be tanking. All right, let's hope Dispo does not kill UI Goku. Dispo killing UI Goku is bad for what we're trying to do right here. We do not want Dispo to do that. No way, Jose. We do not want him to do that. Okay, sure. Just as long as we don't kill UI, man. Okay, I think UI is going to live. Remember, Dispo is pretty good. Dispo is quite a good character. I wonder how effective Dispo will be in the newest fight, because he does build his damage up. Huh, okay. Alright, so you run this second rotation. I guess I can transform into Tech UI. There's no reason not to here. Okay. Remember, by the way, I mean, I've kind of, like, you know, glossed over it. I haven't really discussed it. But Jiren has a supreme leader skill. It's very good. Universal Survival Saga, 200%. And then Universe... And 3 key and 200%. And then Universe 11 gets 4 key and 200%. So, I mean, there is no Universe 11 character at the moment that is off of the Universal Survival Saga team. If we get maybe, like, a Jiren from Dragon Ball Heroes or something like that, or maybe in the future if Dragon Ball Super does return, seems like they don't want to continue Dragon Ball Super, but if it would return, I mean, maybe we'd get, you know, like a new Jiren or Topo or something like that who aren't as part of the Universal Survival Saga, but, I mean, as of right now, I mean, every Universe 11 character is on Universal Survival Saga, right? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, this is exactly the thing. Jiren is good. But, like, 300k defense with the damage reduction, if Tech UI Goku supered right away, not our Tech UI Goku, I'm talking about the enemy Tech UI Goku, like, he'd be able to take Jiren out. Like, you know, when we're running Jiren, we're running him in slot 2. So he is very strong. He's going to be very powerful, but, I mean, there's limitations to how good Jiren is going to be if we're not putting him in slot 1, which is where the strongest... like defensive characters are needed, you know, needed in slot 1. So we do want to keep that in mind. All right, again, on this next rotation, we'll proc Jiren's failed transformation, and we'll see how that's going to go for us. Okay, sure, pretty good. All right, let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. Let's see what we get. All right, perfect. We get that KO screen as well. All right, very good. Okay, let's see what we get. Okay. So now we are here. Again, we'll be able to throw out Jiren's kind of like, you know, the bad, you know, transformation end or whatever you want to say here. Okay, so Jiren does that, and then as we can see, he reverts back to his base form. Now, he does get... What is it? It's 3 key, and I think it's a permanent 30% damage, right? I believe it's permanent 30% extra damage that he does get once he goes into it. So, or let's say for 3 turns, 3 key, and I guess 30%. Okay. So the way it works here, let's look at him. And then, where is it? It's right... No, that is it right there. This. Okay. So, yeah, for 3 turns, he gets 3 key and 30% extra damage. But again, like, if we compare him to Super Saiyan 4 Goku, base Super Saiyan 4 Goku is a fish. Like, you know, we've lost. Jiren is still effective in slot 2. He's just, of course, not as good as he can be once he's fully transformed. I see no reason to use God Topo's active. We don't need to do all that. Let's just see what Jiren's damage looks like right here. And I think we probably could finish up. I think we've seen pretty much what we need to see, kind of like from full power Jiren, you know, Jiren in a standby and stuff like that. Jiren's full bag of tricks should work quite well in the new difficult fight that we're going to be, you know, the Goku and Frieza fight. I'll do the 200% video, and then we'll start, you know, pumping out showcases in that Goku and Frieza fight. Jiren solo in there is going to be one of the first ones we do. 22 million right there. Okay. We're going to do the Jiren solo, like taking him into the fight. There are missions I'm going to have to get done. I want to do a Broly fight. Broly, the way the fight is structured is perfect for Broly. So we got to get his video out quickly. I'm not sure about Cell Max. I mean, Cell Max should work well. We, of course... Well, I guess Cell Max... I mean, as long as he's critting, I mean, he's going to be doing a lot of damage to that Goku and Frieza phase at the very end. Okay, so, I mean, here, I mean, no reason... Well, I guess we'll just do this and we'll finish the fight off. So, let me know what you guys are thinking about LR Jiren here at 55%. Again, I'm not 100% sure exactly where I want to put him. I would just kind of have him somewhere in range right now, just from what I've seen of Tech UI, AGL UI, and in Evolution Blue Vegeta. Jiren feels on that level. It's similar because in Evolution Blue Vegeta, he doesn't go slot 1 either. You could gamble with it. I mean, you could gamble much more effectively in Evolution Blue Vegeta in slot 1 compared to full power Jiren, in my opinion, because Vegeta does still build up damage reduction as he gets hit. So you could put Vegeta in slot 1, he gets hit, 60% damage reduction. He gets hit, 70% damage reduction. He gets hit, 80% damage reduction. Then they super attack, still in slot 1 before you attack, but Vegeta's fully built it up, right? Like, you know, you could do that, whereas Jiren, it's like he's getting so much of his defense when he actually does super attack. So, I mean, and then when we consider the revive as well, I mean, I haven't seen Jiren at Rainbow, but from what I've seen from Vegeta, I don't know. I feel like I need to put Tech UI Goku in front of Jiren as well, because Tech UI Goku so much of the time, we can comfortably run him in slot 1. Tech UI Goku could fail us and die, but, I mean, we could run Tech UI Goku in slot 1 most of the time. He won't fail. So, I probably would have Jiren in the same, like, you know, tier of those guys, but just behind all of them, right? I think is what I would do. Alright, guys, so Jiren does seem very good. If they're going to drop fights as hard as the Goku and Frieza fight, we do need to, at the same time, be getting characters this good and EZAs as good as we've been getting. So, pretty good. So, again, we have the Jiren. Remember, we've got his standby. We have his full power state as well. So, let's go ahead and break down all of Jiren's abilities and his stats and everything that we've got going on right here. So, here our boy is. This is Isolated and Ironclad Power Jiren. Oh, whoops, we got the webcam box up there. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, no webcam for this one. So we have Universe 11 category key 4, 200% of stats, and then Universal Survival Saga category key 3 and 200% of stats. So the only difference is really just Universe 11 characters get an extra key. Not, I mean, it almost is unneeded, but I mean, it's fine, right? His 12 key super attack, completed power. He gets 30% attack and defense for 1 turn, and then he does colossal damage to the enemy. You know, pretty solid right there. His 18 key super attack, overheated Magnetron. He gets 50% attack and defense for 1 turn, mega colossal damage, and then he has a 50% chance to stun. So the stun here in base is obviously very good. You know, we could use that. Super Battle Road will dominate. Like, that's definitely a good thing right there. Passive skill, Regretting Your Own Lack of Power. He gets 8 key and 350% attack and defense. For his first turn, he has an attack break on his first attack. So the first attack he does of his first turn, he will attack break the enemy. But again, you need to be running him in slot 2. So, I mean, there's limited value you'll get from this. I mean, maybe with a Scouter, you could, and know you'd be able to break it if you put him in slot 1, you could try it or something like that. But, yeah. He gets 50% damage reduction start of turn. When attacking, he gets 50% attack and defense. There's a multiplicative buff right there. If he's in the second or third slot of the rotation, he gets 100% attack, a 70% chance to crit, and an extra 11% damage reduction. So again, I mean, you kind of do have to run him in slot 2 or 3. That's his design. He has his standby, which lasts for 5 turns, and unlike Oob, who's only really good defensively for turn 1, Jiren, you could stay in his standby, for, the multiple turns, and he still has the same level of dominant defensive power. That's one thing to keep in mind. Charge count increases by 1 for each sphere acquired by teammates, each key sphere. And you could do that from his third turn from start of turn. So again, basically, third turn after player's appearance only once. The way it works, it's Jiren's second turn. No matter what spot he starts in, you will be able to do it on your second turn with Jiren. That's how it's going to work. His links are Supreme Warrior, Shocking Speed, Infighter, Godly Power, Tournament of Power, Fierce Battle, and Legendary Power. So, of course, that's fine. That's solid. Multipliers here are 150% 12 key and 200% 24 key. Same multipliers we would expect. Here's his best linking partners as well. Base Topo, God of Destruction Topo. Remember that Tech Jiren does EZA next week. That, of course, is going to be very good also. All right, so there's what Jiren looks like in his base form. If we swap over, let's go ahead and take a look at the categories that Jiren has, the teams he's on. So Jiren doesn't have any restrictions or anything. So Jiren will be this good on all teams. That's something to really consider. I mean, we're going to be able to use Jiren this powerfully on all these teams. That helps. So he, of course, is on Universe 11. This is going to be potentially one of the harder missions we've seen. Universe 11 and that Goku and Frieza fight is going to be brutal. Very tough. Then, of course, here is the Universal Survival Saga category team, which obviously is, you know, a top 2-3 team in the game, something like that. It definitely can't, I mean, Beast is still #1, even with the newest fight. You know, but, I mean, certainly, so, like, no team without him could be the best team. But, like, this is probably #2, Universal Survival Saga. Then Jiren is also on Realm of Gods as well. Pretty good, pretty good. Jiren is also on Full Power. So, yet another character added to Broly's team, by the way. Yeah, and this guy will work well for Broly. I mean, this is great. This is great. Again, Broly should get a significant bump in how effective he is with how good he is in the newest fight. Broly should be quite good in there. Then there's also the Transformation Boost category team. Again, that's all Broly's other leader skill. This is the thing I've said. Broly's leader skill is, I mean, probably damn near the best leader skill in the game. I mean, I guess besides Beast and the Gammas, who are just superhero, right? Like, take superhero out of it, Broly probably has the best leader skill in the game. Or maybe AGL Blue Vegito, but that character sucks ass, so. Then Jiren is also on Space Traveling Warriors. I mean, I guess he is technically a Frieza buff. He's on the team, and you would have to run him. I mean, he doesn't do that much for... I mean, Frieza needs slot 1, which Jiren, of course, unfortunately, is slot 2. I mean, you still could try and run Jiren in slot 1. He probably will work better than Hirudegarn and other characters like that, potentially. I mean, I'm no fan of Hirudegarn, but... yeah, I mean, the way they designed Frieza was idiotic. You can't drop a leader of a team heavily restricted like Frieza is. It was stupid. I called it from second one, day one. I called it. How ridiculously dumb it is. I think Frieza's strong. He's good. But the restrictions, it's just, dude, it's so stupid. Because, like, Jiren is definitely the best character on this team, right? For sure. Then there is the Powerful Comeback category that he's on. Awesome. Another great option for that is very good. Jiren is also on the Defender of Justice category team right here. Very good, very good. Jiren is also on the Battle of Fate category team. Nice, nice. Then Jiren is on Tournament Participants as well. We'll take that, we'll take that. Beautiful, beautiful. And Jiren finally is Super Bosses. Absolutely a huge buff to Super Bosses. Again, when we do the I'm probably my order of doing videos. The first video I go into the Goku and Frieza fight is going to be Jiren. I think the second video will be Broly. Broly will be a killer in this fight for sure. He's going to be great. Nice. It's good. The anniversary LRs get you know, Gogeta is great for the fight as well. So that's really awesome for the two of them. Okay, so there is base Jiren. Again, remember, we could transform here into Jiren. It's the easiest, simplest way to explain it is on Jiren's second turn, you can transform. That's really all to consider. Then his passive changes. Remember, he cannot attack, and he actually does get Cold Judgment. One link does change right there, Cold Judgment. So let's go ahead and swap over here. Now we're looking at his standby here. Again, remember, Jiren cannot attack. Passive skill is It Time? So he cannot attack. He gets 350% defense at the start of turn. He gives 3 ki to all allies. He gets 50% damage reduction at the start of turn, and then he gets 11% damage reduction with each ki sphere obtained. So in this phase, he can go slot 1. I mean, I should consider that, you know, for Broly's team, for Super Bosses. you know, you just stay in that standby as long as you can, and he can go slot 1. That will help. I mean, this can help, you know, bide time until Broly's ready to transform, right? Or something like that. So that is good. Then he gets 100% defense when receiving an attack. That's mostly pointless. I guess that's there if you can't get key spheres. That's really, like, going to help him age, by the way. Jiren could end up being good for quite a while because he's invincible in this form. And, I mean, it only takes the second turn. So, I mean, you know, you just float him off turn 1, you know, next year, and then you have the invincible standby. I mean, you could still do shenanigans with, like, Goku and Vegeta because, you know, they're, you know, same thing. LR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, not really so much because he has to get hit 5 times, which is horrible, and he has to be slot 1, which is terrible. But Jiren, right, like, he gets his power in slot 2 or 3, so that's good. Then Jiren will turn one type of key sphere into an AGL key sphere, other than AGL key spheres, of course. So that will help him get the charges. And then when he gets key spheres, the second or third person in rotation, all allies get 70% attack for 2 turns. Really, really good right there. So then, if you get 24 charges or less, you'll exit his standby and go back to base with an additional +3 key and 30% attack for 3 turns. If you get 25 charges, you will go into full power Jiren. Then his links are Supreme Warrior. Cold Judgment is only for his standby phase. Infighter, Godly Power, Turn Power, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. If we are running them on some team with Tech Ultimate Gohan or AGL LR Ultimate Gohan, Jiren could help them quite a... Jiren is an interesting character. This is why people were talking about him being boring. No offense, but you don't know about the game. I mean, I gotta cool it with my wording, but, like, people just talk shit without knowing what they're talking about, dude. There's nothing boring about this. This character has a lot of moving parts. People see no additionals. Oh, he's boring. No, there's a lot of different shit that he's doing, actually. And you want to know what's not boring? No fucking restrictions. Jiren is what he is on every team. He buffs every one of these categories. You don't have to worry about Terrifying Conquers. You don't have to worry about Universal Survival Saga. You don't have to worry about Battle of Fate characters or Super Bosses characters. None of that garbage. He just is dominant everywhere in slot 2 or 3. But that's what keeps him from being, you know, on like a Beast Gohan level of tier or something like that. It is, again, slot 2, slot 3, which kind of holds him back a little bit. Okay, so that looks, you know, we looked at all of his abilities. Supreme Warrior, Cold Judgment, Infighter, Godly Power, Turn Power, Fierce Battle, Legendary Power. We looked at all of his standby abilities, right? So, again, there was Jiren in his standby phase. Then, as long as we get 25, you know, charges, 25 key spheres or more, right, we will transform into full power Jiren, where, of course, he gets different super attacks, different passive, and then his link set reverts back to the same link set he has in his base form. So let's go ahead and jump over. So here is the full power Jiren. So his 12 key super attack, he gets 50% attack for 1 turn, 30% defense for 1 turn, and then he deals colossal damage to the enemy. 18 key super attack, oh, that's a Crimson Barrage. And then the 18 key super attack, the Omega Heat Magnetron, he gets 50%, no, excuse me. He gets 100% attack for 1 turn, 30% defense for 1 turn. He does mega colossal damage, and then he has guaranteed stun, 100% chance to stun. Sounds good, but a turn 5 stun is not really super good. The only boss I can think of is Cellmax. That's it. His passive skill, I Will Never Lose. He gets 11 key at the start of turn, 400% attack and defense. He gets 60% damage reduction at the start of turn. His first turn, he gets a Scouter and an extra 11% damage reduction. When attacking, he gets 111% attack and defense. He has a 70% chance to crit, and every time he does a super, his crit chance goes up by 11%. At 24 key, he gets 50% attack. Attacks are guaranteed to hit. There are some UI Goku like dodging type fights and stuff like that. And then he does guaranteed crits as well. It's a very similar ability we've seen from like AGL UI Goku in Evolution Blue Vegeta, where, you know, they have the 24 key, they get the damage, and they get the guaranteed crits, which is huge. Guaranteed crits is really, really important. All the best characters in the game have all these built-in crits all over the place. And then finally, he gets 50% permanent damage every time he receives an enemy super attack. The way it's worded, it is just like Cell Max, right? So what we can expect is if Jiren dodges the super, he is still going to get the damage. As long as Jiren is targeted with the super, he will get the damage. He doesn't actually need to get hit with it. So you could do full dodge shenanigans, 28 dodge Jiren, put him in slot 1, he dodges the super, and he still gets the permanent extra damage. If there are shenanigans like that that we could actually do. So there we go. That covers all of Jiren. Last thing we could look at here, let's get rid of Cell Max, are his 200% leader skills. Tech UI, Topo, Rose are good, of course. Kale, no. Tech, Carnival Goku, no. 23rd World Tournament Goku, no. And the AGL Blue Vegito is deader than dead. He's out of here. Goodbye. Loser character. So, let me know what you guys think about LR Jiren right here. I, again, feel like he's kind of like top 5 level. I feel like on my tier list, he might end up at 6. But, I mean, understand how good the game is currently. Like, a character even being in the top 10 is huge. Don't think about previous years where anniversary characters are like number 2 and 3 leading into the next anniversary. 2024 Dokkan, they are giving us every character release as a banger. The entire top 10 is elite. It's not years past where characters at 9 and 10 and 8 are iffy and stuff like that. 10 is an elite character. 9 is an elite character. 1 is an elite character. So Jiren, you know, being in that top 10, he probably will end up at 6 on my list, but we'll see how it's going to go. Let me know what you guys think, but Jiren is a substantially incredible, super duper, very good character. Jiren gets a big fat kiss for being as good as he is. Mwah! Jiren, very, very, very good release. Again, the no restrictions, he's going to be able to help in so many missions in the future. Jiren is great.